Hello, beautiful listeners and viewers, and welcome back to another episode of the Heal Your Life Talk radio show. I am your host, Victoria Johnson. I am the trainer for workshop teachers and coaches for the Heal Your Life program here in Canada, Hay House, to offer exclusive approved training in Louise Hay's methods. Each episode that we have brings you lots of tools and insights and inspiration. That is our goal, to always be providing these things for you so that you can just help yourself to create the best life ever. And Louise always said the point of power is in the present moment, and that's our cue to get started. So let's get started. Our guest today is Niharika Rajnala, and she lives in Victoria, BC, Canada, and she is a health science professional. She is a certified Heal Your Life coach. She focuses on mind wellness and transformation. She has a super fun and informative YouTube channel. She shares meditations, affirmations, healing practices, all sorts of videos on different topics that all pertain to that exact thing that I just shared, that mind wellness and transformation. She guides a global audience to heart-centered coaching and personal growth. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Victoria. I'm very fortunate to be invited on your podcast. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's my pleasure to have you here. I am going to put it in the show notes, but for all of you watching and listening, Niharika is available to you on social media. And if you can see the spelling of her name, it is just with the @ symbol in front of that, Niharika Rajnala, at all of the different platforms. I asked her which social media she's on, and she said, I'm everywhere. I love it. Well, let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, let's start with, how do you decide what topics you're going to cover on your YouTube channel? Do you have a method to that, or is it daily inspiration that comes to you? What is your process for helping others?
It's very intuitive. And that's a very good question as well. I just feel it, like this is what I want to speak about, and I create a script. And most of the time that happens while I'm actually actively working. So I just quickly take a post-it note, write what I need to speak about and what calls to me. And that's like one video ready. And then many times things happen in my own life, and I feel like if I found a solution, the solution can be useful for others, and I just share it so that others can make use of it, and it impacts at least one life. And that's how I go about my channel.
I
Yeah.
love that approach. And I 100% believe that if I'm going through something, somebody else is going through it too. And that, there's never anything in our lives where it's like, no one else is experiencing this. It's not fair. How come I have to go through this? Or on the other side of things, when, we have these beautiful, insightful moments, to be able to go online and to share them with other people for their guidance. What have you found is the most rewarding thing about doing that?
It's first and foremost very healing for me. When I share, it's like I'm reteaching myself. And because it's real, it is raw, there's nothing extra done to what I'm sharing. It's very authentic for myself, and I feel even for the viewers. So I keep it as real and raw as it is. And every time I create a video, it's very healing. And because I myself listen to it so much, I feel rewarded in just creating and in the whole process. So yeah, I love this aspect of creating and sharing with everybody.
I completely agree with what you're saying. And I've often said to other people, and it's true in my own life as well, when I am getting in maybe a negative loop, or if I'm feeling just blah, overall blah, if I do something that helps somebody else, it automatically helps me to feel better. And one of the things that we focus on in the Louise Hay work is helping ourselves so that we can help other people. But just what you said about being able to share your experiences with others, I think is part of what helps us overcome situations that in the past might have held us down or held us back.
Yes.
So what inspired you, being a health sciences professional? I understand that you specialize in research. What inspired you to become a Heal Your Life coach and workshop teacher?
First and foremost, I always felt like it was physical diseases that need to be healed in a person, and all the healing happens externally. And then over the period of time, through my teenage years and my 20s, I realized like, no, it's something inside. Your internal shifts, then everything else shifts. It's your mind which is most important. And when you hit that dark night of the soul, it's actually your mind. It's not your body. You may have a fracture, but if you're happy, it doesn't matter. But if you are not happy here, nothing else matters. You might be the most beautiful person in the whole world, but you're not happy in the mind, it doesn't work. So that was my inspiration to work towards how you can heal yourself internally. And I was very lucky. I was introduced to Louise Hay quite early when I was 19, but I didn't read the book until I was 29. So that was very very timely, I feel. I was ready. And then I
Yeah.
attended the workshop and then I got trained and licensed. So it transformed my life and the way it impacted my life, whether it's my mind, body, or even my soul. I want to share it with everybody. And that was my inspiration of becoming licensed and certified Heal Your Life coach and workshop leader, and share how blissful it is when you truly love yourself from inside, truly, however you are, whichever
Mhm.
stage of life you are, whichever phase of life you are. And I wanted everybody to experience it. That was my main inspiration.
Yes. And, when you're talking, it reminds me of something that Louise used to say that her job, and this is how I feel about my job as well, is literally to help people love themselves more. Like, it doesn't matter what the workshop is called. Maybe I'm teaching a workshop on money mindset. Maybe I'm
Yes.
teaching a workshop on health. The bottom line to everything is loving ourselves more. And so you touched on, when we have a physical disease in the body. Let's use cancer as an example. And in no way, shape, or form am I ever like blaming anyone for cancer or anything like that at all. But what we're doing is we're offering an alternative approach to say,
Yes.
what could possibly be going on in my life that is not helpful to me physically? What thoughts am I thinking? What words am I saying? What emotions am I storing? And even after the diagnosis, in terms of how am I going to cope with this? What mindset am I going to adapt to the situation? Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, what you touched is a very deep topic, I feel,
Mhm.
and also very important for everybody to know. When we focus just like, okay, it is a disease and I'm helpless, I don't think we are inviting external help to even come and aid to us. But when we think, as you mentioned, alternative ways of healing, yes, there are allopathic ways of healing. Yes, take it if that's the right one for you. Be inviting to everything else. It could be a different diet, it could be a different mindset, and it could be a different approach altogether. Maybe I remember Louise mentioning foot reflexology, totally different approach when she was healing from her cancer. So that openness to alternative healing, even aromatherapy, which is so simple and we just take it for granted because now it's easily available, it could open so many more avenues. Like you say, yes,
Mhm.
universe, I'm ready. I'm ready for healing myself by changing my mindset and loving myself. I'm ready to follow Louise Hay's philosophy. I'm ready to do some visualization. Then universe somehow starts sending more people into your life who may truly help you. So having that openness to heal yourself in 360 degrees, that helps a lot.
Yeah, I like that you talked about that openness. And, as you were talking, I was thinking about how we can so easily tap into these things. An example that I could give that I think almost everyone could relate to is maybe you have a sore knee, or maybe your legs are sore from climbing too many hills, or who knows what it is, right? So we have the option of being like, oh, I'd love to go to the park, but, I got a bad knee, this bad knee, it really bothers me. Like, and just going on and on and on about my bad knee, my bad knee. Or we can be focused on instead understanding I have a sensation in my knee that sometimes holds me back, but I can go to the park and sit on the bench and enjoy nature and still being able to find the goodness in
Yes.
recovery. And so how to support ourselves, I guess, is basically what you're saying is, finding new ways to support ourselves and to take care of the whole person.
Yes. And I feel even the concept of gratitude helps in such situations because
Mhm.
when we see people who are undergoing much more challenging situations than us, we're just complaining about the knee at the moment. And it is true, it is valid. Yeah, we are having a terrible knee pain. But when we see people who might not have legs or they have like a really bad distortion in their body, it's even more challenging. And when we see that and we see people fighting through it and having a smile, then it changes our perception that we have so much more, and how much more we can actually truly be grateful and happy. So yes, that key perspective also helps a lot. And I feel Louise Hay touches so well on the key aspect of gratitude to change a whole perspective.
Yes, yes, absolutely. It changes everything. It really does. I recently went through a stressful situation and was so focused on, oh my God, this is so stressful. Oh, this isn't fun at all. I'm not enjoying this. And guess what? It was a miserable stressful situation. Whereas if I would have been, if it's okay to acknowledge, hey, you know what, this is pretty stressful for me, but I have tools to manage stress. So I can implement those. I can find the good in this and to shift the focus that way. So many different areas of our life that we can, even just areas of our health that we can apply this information to. So when you are coaching online or in person, then as a Heal Your Life coach, can you kind of walk us through maybe what a typical coaching session with you would be like, or anything that's specific that you want to share with us on that, and how you integrate these teachings, these philosophies on mind-body connection, how to love yourself, all of that into Heal Your Life coaching or workshops, whatever you'd like to share.
Thank you for asking that. So how I go about is when somebody reaches out to me, I know there's this divine timing and divine purpose. So I honor it. I'm very grateful. Okay, thank you, universe. Thank you, Louise, for sending somebody who needs and I can be of help. And then I send out like a very simple intake form just for me to know what actually brought them here, what is the help that they need. And I send it out to them. If I don't get any response back, I just send a simple email and I say, what is it that's bothering you the most? Just one question. And usually I get a response, and sometimes I don't, because people are going through things. That's why they reached out. So I get on the call or speak to them in person, and then I ask them, okay, what actually brought you here? Because I'm being persistently showing I care about you. Eventually they open up. When they tell me the reason, then I go a little deeper and ask them different avenues of their life. Because some people come with regard to finance, but it's not finance. It is their craving of love from their father or from their family or spouse. It is a totally different reason. And every time it boils down to them not loving themselves. And then backtracking to how we can heal the finance part of their life. So I firstly show them how much I'm here for you and let's work together. It'll be a creation that we both are doing, not just me over here. It's something that we both are creating for you. So the plate of the other person, and I see how much the other person's opening up, trusting, and going with the process. And when we do sit with our sessions, I make sure we both are grounded. So I start with a meditation, then go into the session. And then when emotions come up, I'm there to receive and just be there as a channel to help them. And then we usually close our session again by grounding ourselves and then releasing ourselves into the real world.
Very nice. Very nice. I feel better just even hearing that format like that, the calmness that comes with it. And I love your focus on the partnership between yourself and the client and your empathy and your ability to listen, just to stop and to be calm and to listen. So often, so many of us need that in our lives.
Yeah, mostly I think because we're not heard ourselves, so we just want to let the other person know so dearly.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And to be able to identify, to be able to see in our own lives where those challenges are, where the things that might be holding us back or getting in our way are, and being able to identify them and to stop and take the time to actually do that. So that's great. I know you're a great coach and appreciate you so much. If you had a client or if somebody is listening who is absolutely brand new to self-love, to maybe practicing affirmations or any of the other tools that you use, they're absolutely brand new to it. Where would you have them start?
I would ask them to remind themselves, like if you were a baby, just imagine you were a baby. If it's middle of the night and you need milk, would you wait for your mother to wake up at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. and then ask for milk? Or would you just cry immediately? You would actually cry because you need food and you want the food right away because you want to flourish. And that is self-love. And if you can do that every time, even in your adult life or whichever stage of life you are, that is your true self-love because you're caring for yourself. What do I need? And
Yes.
let me request it, go for it, and take action and go to the right resource and do that any action
Right.
that needs to be done so that I'm fulfilled.
Just absolutely taking care of self.
Yes,
And when
but
you were
in a
talking
mindful way.
in a mindful way. Oh, thank
Yes.
you for adding that piece because that is important. We know that's important. It's a great reminder. As you were speaking, it reminded me of something something that Louise has often shared, which is to remember that we're born worthy of love, that we don't have to
Yes.
qualify for it. There's nothing that we need to do to be good enough to deserve it. And so many of us, I think, were raised in an environment where, we weren't really taught how important self-love is. We had parents that said, I love you. We had, roof over our head and we had food on the table. We had all of the things, but to have it really instilled into us that, you are worthy of love just because you exist. You are and always have been and always will be more than enough. When we can really, as human beings, grasp that it's not when we take, supper to the neighbor. It's not because we have our kids in 18 sports. It's not all of these other things that make us a worthy human being. We were born that way.
Yes, that is so profound. Oh, I love your teaching, Victoria. You're such an amazing coach. And yeah,
Oh, thank you so much. Well, I was just building off with what you shared about when you are, a baby and you're asking for what you need and just inviting the listeners and the viewers to go back to themselves as that little baby. Or like for me, for example, and I'm sure you do this as well, Niharika, where I have a picture of myself as a young child above my desk here. And I look at her and let me tell you, she is worthy of love. She is
yes.
adorable. She deserves to be taken care of in a nurturing, loving way and spoken to kindly. So can you tell us maybe an experience about that with your inner child for you?
Firstly, what you do is brilliant. I feel everybody should do that. Or rather, can do that. It's your
It's a
choice.
challenge. You heard it straight from Niharika. It is a challenge. Find yourself a picture of you as a young child and put it on in front of your desk and remember to love her all day long.
Yes. So from my inner child, the inspiration that I draw is I keep reminding myself when I was a toddler, and all the memories that I have is whether I'm by myself or whether I'm with company, I'm always happy. It doesn't matter. I can keep myself busy with anything and everything. I remember memories where I used to bring in logs of wood and try to make a boat out of it. I'm not a carpenter, but I'm doing something, and then just go sit, climb onto the walls and sit and just watch the cattle, like watch buffaloes and cows just going around the home. This is my grandparents' home. I used to just be in the present. It didn't matter. I didn't have to be busy. I just be in the moment, do whatever I want to do, and just be very happily connected with nature, with people around me. And animals just gave me joy. So every time that I feel something's more challenging in my present life, I just go back like, okay, am I making my inner child feeling challenged at this moment? And I ask myself that. And most of the times, yes, I've stopped being an adult and I've gone into child mode and I've given the whole responsibility to the child. So then I'm like, okay, child, you can continue doing whatever you want to do. You want to build something, you want to create something, do it. I'll handle this as an adult. And then I see the stress is actually going off. So I compare my present situation to the memories and the feelings.
Yeah.
And then I redirect myself in a situation. That's what I do.
I compare my present situation to the memories and the feelings. Being younger, being that inner child or the younger child self. Love that. Those are words of wisdom right there that we can all remember to do, to connect to the feelings, but then to have our adult self step in and take over. Ah, wonderful. Well, thank you for everything that you've shared. I have to ask, do you have a favorite quote or an affirmation?
My favorite one is I approve of myself and I accept myself just the way I am.
Yes.
It's my
Oh,
favorite.
I love that. I love that. And to the viewers and listeners, I challenge you to just think that right now or say it out loud. I approve of myself and I accept and love myself just the way I am. Thank you so much for being on the show, Neha. Really appreciate you. And I'll put all of your contact information into the show notes. You're an amazing coach. I absolutely love you. Thanks again for being on the show.
Love you, Victoria. Thank you.